There is many Bible prophecy that must come to pass in order to know we are in the last days according to the Bible. The mass animal die-offs, and rivers and other bodies of water turning blood red, sinkholes, strange sounds heard worldwide, flood, fire, earthquakes, tornado and windstorms, avalanches, pestilence, volcanic eruptions on Earth and in the solar system, solar flare, tsunami, blizzards, droughts, hailstorms, heat waves, wildfires, space disasters, health disasters, epidemics, gamma-ray burst. This is only part of the end-time Bible prophecy. There is more that will happen, that will tell you that we are really in the end times, and I will give you a small list of them. Keep in mind all that I have said before has already been happening. To find out if this is true, all you have to do is do some research on your own. Oh, and yeah, we have had all the disaster I had talked about before in our history, but never like we have seen today, where they are happening more and more often, like birth pains of a woman in labor about to give birth. Look up Bible prophecy in the news on YouTube, or proof of the end times, or signs of change, or something like that, and see for yourself. Look up news about this stuff too and see for yourself. Like for example, look up, March 14, 2011 quake shifted Japan coast about 13 feet, knocked Earth 6.5 inches off axis. Many prophecies in the Bible contain details which have not yet come to pass, making it clear that they are yet to be fulfilled. Psalm 83 is a prophetic psalm written about 2,000 years ago, describing nations in the Middle East coming against Israel. This must certainly signify an event yet to come, as never before in history have the list of nations within this psalm all joined together to attack Israel. Verse 4 could have come straight from the mouth of the rulers of the Middle East nations of today. They have said, "Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Psalm 83:4. The psalm continues listing all of the nations that join together with the aim of destroying Israel, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagaranes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Selah. Psalm 83 verses 5 through 8. The term tabernacles means dwelling places. Those who attack Israel here shall be in the lands possessed by these nations at the time the psalm was written. Maps from this time show that the nations listed here cover the area of the Middle East surrounding Israel, and relate to the following modern-day countries: Amalek, the northeastern area of Egypt, just below the Gaza Strip; Ishmaelites and Hagaranes, northern Saudi Arabia; Philistines, the Gaza Strip; Gebal and Tyre, Lebanon, Moab and Ammon, both also referred to as the children of Lot; and Edom, Jordan; Asher, Iraq, the capital of ancient Assyria. Note: Moab is central Jordan, Ammon is northern Jordan, and Edom is southern Jordan. Ezekiel 36. The prophecies of Ezekiel were written around 593 to 571 BC. Part of this prophecy has been fulfilled, and the latter part is still being fulfilled today. It mentions how God scatters the Jews throughout the countries of the world, leaving the land of Israel desolate because of their sins against Him. The scattering of the Jews, known as the Jewish diaspora, started in 79 AD following the Jewish wars and sack of Jerusalem by Roman Emperor Tiberius. "And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries. According to their way and according to their doings I judged them." Verse 19. Also mentioned is how God will again bring the Jews back to Israel, and that Israel shall be built up as a prosperous country. Since 1948 Jews have been returning to Israel from all over the world. "For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land." Verse 24. Ezekiel 37. "And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations. Neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all." Verse 21 through 22. Israel had always been one nation up until the death of King Solomon in 979 BC. After this the kingdom was split up into the two nations of Israel and Judah, and remained that way until the diaspora, when Israel ceased to exist. In 1948 the nation of Israel was re-established as a single nation, for the first time since 979 BC. Fulfilling the prophecy. Even today Jews are still flocking back to Israel. Ezekiel 35. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee, thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it. And they shall know that I am the Lord. Verse 15. Both Seir and Idumea are the lands of the Edomites, which today are known as Jordan. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Verse 9. This prophecy must be for a time yet to come, as it describes Jordan as being utterly destroyed and perpetually without cities, something which has not yet occurred in history. Obadiah. Written around 580 BC. This prophecy is yet to be fulfilled. It describes how Edom, which is modern Jordan, is despised by the countries around it, and that the surrounding countries deceive its army and fight against it. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Verse 1-2. All the men of thy confederacy had brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. That they eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, there is none understanding in him. Verse 7. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Verse 15-17. The day of the Lord indicates that this is predicted to occur in the latter days. The fact that the heathen, non-Jewish people surrounding Israel have taken Mount Zion, known today as the Temple Mount, as their possession fits in with this prophecy. The phrase "as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee," seems to indicate that as these nations wanted to wipe Israel off the face of the earth, they themselves shall be completely wiped out, as though they had not been. The prophecy ends with Israel possessing the lands occupied by the nations surrounding it, which is yet to be fulfilled. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead, and the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. Verse 19-20. Here we see that the Jews are to take possession of the following areas: Philistines, Gaza Strip, Ephraim and Samaria, the West Bank, Gilead, the area to the right of the Jordan River, Zarephath, Lebanon. Joel 3. Tyre and Zidon were the areas now known as Lebanon. Joel's prophecy, written around 760 BC, is focused on the latter days. It claims that Lebanon and the coasts of Palestine, which is the area of the Philistines now known as the Gaza Strip, shall attack Israel, and Israel shall attack back rapidly. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre, and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Verse 4. The people from these countries shall be ousted from these places and find themselves banished to the Yemen area, which is now the land once belonging to the Sabines. The people of Sheba, And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabeans, to a people far off, for the Lord hath spoken it. Verse 8. As in Ezekiel 35. This prophecy claims that Edom, the area of which today is known as Jordan, shall be destroyed, adding that Egypt also shall be destroyed. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Verse 19. Zephaniah 2. The book of Zephaniah was written around 641-610 BC. Some people compare the things written in this chapter with things that have already occurred in history. However, the whole book of Zephaniah is centered around the end times, specifically the day of the Lord. So it is unlikely that this chapter is any different. This shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord of hosts. The Lord will be terrible unto them, for he will famish all the gods of the earth, and man shall worship him, everyone from his place, even all the isles of the heathen. Verse 10 through 11. Coinciding perfectly with Psalm 83. This chapter describes the outcome of the attack in Psalm 83, where Israel is victorious. The destruction of Israel's enemies is due to their reproach against Israel. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. Woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast, the nation of the Cherethites. The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, the land of the Philistines. I will even destroy thee, that there shall be no inhabitant. Verse 4 through 5. The people of the sea coast area comprising the Gaza Strip up to Ashkelon, Ashdod, and Ekron, which is slightly beyond, shall be destroyed from the land. This prophecy specifically mentions the Cherethites. These are the people who inhabited the lower region of the land belonging to the Philistines, the land that is now the Gaza Strip. And the sea coast shall be dwellings and cottages for shepherds, and folds for flocks. And the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah. They shall feed thereupon, in the houses of Ashkelon shall they lie down in the evening. For the Lord their God shall visit them, and turn away their captivity. Verse 6 through 7. The inhabitants of these areas shall be destroyed, but the land shall not be completely destroyed. I have heard the reproach of Moab, and the revilings of the children of Ammon, whereby they have reproached my people, and magnified themselves against their border. Therefore as I live, saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, and the children of Ammon as Gomorrah, even the breeding of nettles, and salt pits, and a perpetual desolation. The residue of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. VVERSE 8-9 The area of Jordan shall be completely desolate, and Israel shall possess it. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword. And he will stretch out his hand against the north, and destroy Assyria, and will make Nineveh a desolation, and dry like a wilderness. Verse 12. The Ethiopian armies will be destroyed, and Assyria, which today encompasses Syria and Iraq, will be destroyed. Nineveh, which is in Iraq, will be completely desolate like a wilderness. The fact that Ethiopia is mentioned makes sense, as today we see how the Middle East has had a strong influence on Ethiopia. This prophecy was written around 580 BC. Isaiah 17. The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. Verse 1. There are records of the city of Damascus ranging back into the time of Abraham, and Damascus is considered the oldest continually inhabited city in the world. Here we are told that it will no longer be a city. In 732 BC, Israel's king Ahaz paid tribute to the Assyrian king Tiglath-Pileser III,